we go. So I think we're all laid out here. It's not just a matter of tracing these. We add here, and then you have to think, you flip this over. So you have to add a couple stitches where you stretched the material out like that. It was like this, and now it's like that, and you put stitches, say, like between your fingers. And you have to make sure that that matches up in the right spot. I drew them red. I accidentally drew them wrong here. You have to add space for the stitching here, 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 and then we have to cut into our pattern, cut the heel reinforcements out, and then make one piece out of it. I don't know what's the deal with my buttons right now. You punch through the pattern, and then you redraw this line. But I have the same number of holes, but you can see this one's 1/2 inch and this one's 1 inch from the top, so I don't know if they're gonna line up. But we'll deal with that. I don't know how to fix it right now. And I think these two pieces are different heights. I don't know if that's gonna work when we finally put it on my foot, if it'll level out. But then we also add about 1/2 inch back here because we're going to sew up the back of the boot, and that's to overlap. You know, you don't just fuse them together, but you like overlap. It's glued. Shouldn't take long. It'll dry. We'll put more glue on it and then stick them together. Alright, we sanded the edges down.
So one hand above, one below.
It looks okay.
As you're working the sides.
It doesn't look manufactured. We're going to bevel the edge and then laying them flat. They're slightly different.
Like this as you go.
I could sandwich them and go around, but we're just going to let it be handmade. Alright, we're grooving here. So we're going to groove that out. Might make this a little deeper. That's for the stitches, and that's on both here. And then we'll groove this out and then reset it in a little bit more based on this, about that much. And then we'll make another groove along there, and then we'll scoop that out. Cat's watching Cat TV and helping me make shoes. Thank you, buddy. And I just scooped out another little bit from this channel here, and it's getting late. I'm gonna run into the shop, hopefully meet Dawn there, and we're gonna drill with 5/64. The bottoms that are going to attach to the leather sole, they're shaved down to 1/2. Not quite happy with that, but then these lateral pieces, so I think that'd be the outside of my left foot there. These are shaved down paper thin, in 1/2 inch, and then the side that's going to match up with that in that way is likewise shaved down to 1/2 the thickness of this 8-ounce leather with 1/2 inch in, so that when they line up, they're one amount of thickness, so there's not a bulky seam going up our Achilles heel. I've cut these little borders off of the, if this makes sense. I cut I think it's a 1/4 inch off of these borders that I drew on the poster board to cut out these lining pieces, and then I used them to get a 1/4 inch line drawn on the suede side of the lining material, and then I used the same narrowed template to mark out the corresponding place on the inside of the uppers on both sides. So the next thing I'm going to do is open up this window, open up the vent in my ceiling, and put the fan on, and I'm going to glue these down and then slap these on here, basically. Say they go something like that. And then those will all be glued. These get glued on here onto the vamps, they're called. I keep imagining they wear black and hang out at the mall. But yeah, I skived all this pile of stuff. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is. These liners for the laces, skived. The toe cap, skived. I have another one of those somewhere. Suddenly very nervous because I need to have 2 of these. I know I did 2. But here it is, actually. 2 of these toe cap kind of stiffeners. I think I lost my liners, so I cut them out, did a quick skive around them, and then all these various intricacies of skiving the various parts. Here's the sides, my boots, the top of my boots, the heels of my boots. They're all skived. Got our first coat on, and it's gonna get really tacky really soon. I mean, this is the first one. It's pretty much dry because it's so dry here. So I'm gonna wait a few more minutes, coat everything again, wait for it to dry again, and it's contact cement, so then it dry again, and then I've got all the pieces matched up. That's going to go on there, that's going to go on there, that there, that there, that there, and that there. And then we'll glue the backs up. I'm going to probably whip stitch these with the nylon thread, and the fate of these fingers is yet to be determined, but pretty happy with this so far. I think it looks pretty cool. Reminds me of the Joker and the Tim Burton Batman. Wait, hold on. Our, can you see? Uppers glued together. This one's stuck. Look at it. There it is. Finished my first cat saddle. Check it out, catsaddles.com. Stop it. Both of my single border around the top excuse me. I think it looks pretty good, but it definitely has a hand stitch quality about it, which is fine. Here's the other side, and my ends are a little long, but I'll cut them down later. I just feel like it's going to work loose, but it's probably going to be fine. So yeah, it's really starting to look like a boot. We got rivets. Rivet, 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 rivet. More rivets. This is my first set of rivets. It has a charming quality to it. The second, a little better. Maybe that's my last one because it looks the best. Nice and even. Rivets. This is a veg tanned goat skin that we're going to wet so that when we mold it, it retains a stiffer toe shape so that it doesn't look quite like it does now, but it'll have a stiff toe that stays up. So that's a clever thing, and you can see I'm really happy with this. I might have even dyed these, but I did like the contrast of that light color there. So they are like that. I could have dyed them black, but I don't. I like that. To me, that looks luxurious. Jesus, look at my hair. Let's get to crafting.
Playboy girls, she's a lady. Playboy girls, have a I'm out here fucking bitches though. Who are you? I'm out here getting riches though. Who are you? I'm out here fucking bitches though. Who are you? I'm out here getting, hey. Low rider, drives a little slower.
But yeah, they're all up in my shoes. But what we're doing is, I don't know, you can see the silver pen marks just above the basting stitch. They've become a bit rubbed off because we made them at the beginning. So we're going to go back and set them against the patterns. So this is the vamp with holes in it. Okay, so it's a bit tricky. You have to make sure that you're on the right side or the left. Very confusing. And we're just gonna line up the stitch marks and remark them with the silver pen, and then we go back with the measuring tape and we mark 1/4 of an inch from the edge, and then that's the mark that we go in with the hole punch all of those. And before we do that though, we have to also line it up against the sole. If you can see, there's holes in it, and we line it up and make sure that there's one hole on here for every hole that's, you're stealing your rubber bands. I have to throw them for you. Make sure that there's a hole on here for every pen mark and hole we have here. And then my arm's tired already from doing this one. So you can see through it, you've got holes there. I don't know if you can see, but they go through. And then all of this basting stitch and the hole is going to get kind of folded over in the veg tan sole,